Hi everyone, Jessica Calzadigan here with Savvy Realty, your high-rise expert here. I've been doing this probably for over 6 years. I started my real estate career in high-rises. If you call Savvy Realty and you're looking to find a unit to lease, or if you're an owner looking to lease your property out with no property management, you're going to be talking to me. So I probably have done hundreds of rentals in Allure. And when I was searching the internet, I get tons of inquiries, and I have to go through and explain how the leasing process works. And it's very tedious here, actually. There is no on-site management, or I'm sorry, no on-site leasing at any of the high rises. They're all individually owned and operated. So one unit can have a property manager, or the other unit can be owner managed. It just all depends. So I noticed that there really wasn't many videos or a lot of information out there on how the process works in any of the high rises. So I'm going to go tower to tower. I probably have done hundreds of these rentals, so you're definitely dealing with an expert here. And this goes for people who are looking to apply or owners. Make sure you find yourself a high rise expert. Bing. So the reason why is because it is a process, and a good majority of realtors out there and also property managers don't even know how this process works. There is countless times that I've had to walk property managers or owners through their own leasing process, and technically it's not my job on that end, but we got to get the rental done. So I have to hurry up and help them out, basically, and instruct them on how to lease their units out and how leasing in Allure even works. So like I said, it is a more tedious process. These are different from apartment complexes. I would expect, if you are looking to lease a unit, give yourself at least 1 to 2 weeks to get an approval. Again, it's case by case. The reason I say that, some property managers are on top of it, and some can take 2 to 4 days just to process one application. So let me backtrack a little bit here. I'm gonna go through the leasing requirements first, and then we'll talk about all the other items too, like time frame for approval, pets, parking, how that all works. So Allure is located on Las Vegas Boulevard and Sahara. Sahara is widely traveled. If you are new here to town, Sahara Avenue is very busy. Allure is centrally located. You're right off of the 15, so you're quick to get on the highway. Allure has absolutely amazing amenities and views. All the condos in the front face the strip. You get a strip view. The prices vary too. It just depends on what's on there for inventory. One bedrooms can go anywhere from $1,500 on a low level to $3,000, $3,500 a month. If you're looking for sales, you could definitely reach out to me as well. One bedrooms are starting at $380,000 currently right now, and then there's penthouse unit going all the way up to 1.6 million. So there's definitely a variety. All right, so let's get started. So the leasing requirements for Allure. The HOA requires a minimum of a 620 credit score. So that means that you cannot have your credit score, when we run your credit, cannot be lower than a 620. And do they accept co-signers? Yes, sometimes they do. Like I said, every unit is individually managed or owned. So leasing requirements of the credit score can vary a little bit, listing to listing, but the building itself requires a 620. Normally, we were looking for 3 times the rent monthly income. So if you're looking at a unit that's about $2,000 a month, you need to have about $6,000 a month gross income. Now, what can you use to show your income? Your paycheck stubs, a new work contract, bank statements sometimes can work, with healthy reserves in there. Also showing maybe your direct deposits or how you take in your income. If you're self-employed, it's on a case-by-case basis, depending on the management company or owner. They could require a tax return, or they can sometimes just go off of bank statements if it's a newer business. The next one is excellent rental history. So that means that you cannot have any evictions, you can't owe any other landlords, you can't owe for unpaid utilities, meaning like you owe the electric company or gas company, etc. We're looking for a clean background check. No felonies in the past 10 years. What crimes? I mean, normally anything that's drug related or violent crimes, that's kind of what they're looking for. That could also create a denial for your application. Most leases are required to start within 2 weeks of approval. So what does that mean? If the unit is ready now and it's vacant, they're not going to hold it for you for another 1 to 2 months for your move-in date. So you got to be ready now. If you're looking to lease in the next 2 to 3 weeks, then you can start searching, for your new home. That's when you're going to give me a call and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. This is my budget. Let's go take a look. I'm ready to start a lease here in a couple of weeks. Let's see. Most leases are required to start within 2 weeks. Yep, we just went over that. So just a little bit how the approval process works. So after you find a unit, you're like, Jessica, I absolutely love this unit. This is the one. Let's do it. I want to put my application in. So we're going to go ahead and grab your application. And it just depends on the listing itself, whether they have an online application or if there is a paper application, which I would provide to you and then submit to the property manager or the listing agent. The time frame for approval. So there's going to be an application that's for the owner first. That can take anywhere from 2 to 4 days to get an approval back from the owner or the management company. And then after you have been approved with the owner or the management company, that is going to then go on to the HOA. There's going to be a background and credit check that is submitted to the HOA for their final approval. And also there's going to be an HOA packet that you're going to go through and sign, read all the rules and regulations, set up your power, your utilities. Normally in this tower, the tenant is responsible for just your electricity. And then if there is gas, sometimes just the electricity, gas, and internet, and cable, if you want cable. All the HOA dues are taken care of by the owners. So that usually always includes water, sewer, trash, because that's all in the HOA, but it can vary from listing to listing. I have seen in some listings where they do charge a monthly fee of like $40 to cover the water, sewer, trash, but 90% of them it's included and they don't charge for those separate utilities. So back to the time frame for approval. So once you get approved by the owner, then your whole packet is going to be turned into the HOA for their final approval. I would definitely give at least 1 week for that approval. It just depends if the board is, available to approve this application. Sometimes it's quick and sometimes it takes a whole week. So what's going to be submitted is your credit, your background, your whole application, your ID. If you have a pet, now this is important, let us know right away because not all units are pet friendly. The building itself accepts pets. I believe it's 2 up to 80 pounds, and there is some breed restrictions. So let us know right away so we can find you a pet friendly unit because not all of them accept pets. And then your deposit can vary. It varies on the listing. So, we'd have to find you a unit that is specifically considers pets, and then I would be able to tell you what the deposit is. So, once you get that all squared away, let's see. Your parking is assigned. You get 1 covered parking spot, normally just 1. There is complimentary valet. If you have an additional vehicle, they can utilize the valet service. It is complimentary. There is no monthly fee for it. If you want to take care of your valet driver, I'm sure that's always encouraged by them. But your car needs to move every 2 weeks. So it can't just sit for like 1 to 2 months. The car has to be operable and moving. So the next is, let's talk about utilities. So I did already kind of cover that. Utilities, normally you're just required you will sign up for their power. There's a sheet in the HOA that it is metered separately. So you will pay your monthly bill directly with the building and the HOA for power. Let's see. So Allure requires, I'm going to give you a breakdown of what the estimated move-in cost looks like. So for example, the HOA requires 1 month's rent deposit for the HOA. Now that's on top of the owner's deposits. So you're looking at, for example, if your rental is $1,925 a month, $1,925 a month. You're going to need your first month's rent of $1,925, your security deposit of 1 month's rent, which is $1,925. If that goes towards the owner, that is a separate deposit from the HOA deposit. Why does the HOA collect 1 month's rent deposit? Well, they call it a common area deposit. Anything that is deemed a deposit is refundable when you move out. Anything that is a fee is non-refundable. So this is a deposit. It is 1 month's rent, $1,925. So you're looking at 2 deposits of 1 month's rent. There usually is a cleaning fee. So I took this example from a listing that was on the 34th floor, and their cleaning is $400. Now, again, that is going to be specific to the listing, whether it's a deposit or a fee. Some management companies charge a fee. So if they're charging a fee, that means that you leave the unit broom swept. Basically, you don't have to fully detail and clean it. If it's a deposit, normally you're going to have the unit cleaned to get that deposit back. Also, there is a key deposit. And then pet, it just varies, from listing to listing. It could be anywhere from $250 to $1,000. Just depends. It's listing specific. App fee, normally anywhere from $60 to $100 is what we see for app fees. Allure doesn't charge one, but the management company or the owner will. Let's see. So you're looking at about $6,375 to rent a unit that costs $1,925 a month. So there is a little bit more that goes into, a little bit higher move-in costs, but the trade-off of that is you're getting an amazing high-end luxury unit, that an owner pays a lot towards the HOA for all these awesome amenities. You have a gate guard up front. So that's extra safe. You have a covered parking ramp with a gate that comes down in the evening. There is complimentary valet, a gorgeous gym, big gym actually, that overlooks the pool, a pool area, barbecue, flat screen TV outside. There's a game area. Let's see what else. There is no steam or sauna at Allure. There is a hot tub. Let's see, what else does Allure? They do have a social events calendar as well. Actually, Allure does a lot of social events monthly. They'll do food trucks or movie nights, ice cream socials, wine tastings, all that good stuff they brought back after, the pandemic. Just another thing too. So on your moving day, you will have to make a reservation with the elevator and logistics. There will be $1,000 deposit. It is a cashier's check that you will bring in that day of the day that you are moving, that you have reserved with, the logistics manager. And it is refundable that same day. So they just basically hang on to it so there's no common area damage. In the elevator, they pad it for you. It's yours for a certain time slot, anywhere from 2 to 4 hours usually, and you're allowed to move yourself, or you can hire movers. So let's see, I think I covered everything that goes into leasing at Allure. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment. Definitely hit the subscribe button if you're looking to get more information on leasing or possibly listing your unit to lease, or if you're just curious about sales and you want to chat, I'm happy to help. I'm definitely an expert in this field, and I look forward to meeting you all. Feel free to reach out, and I hope to talk to you soon.